I wanted to do a top 5 games that I played in 2016. Now, obviously, these games didn't come out this year, just games that I happened to pick up and play. So let's get right into it, shall we, with number 5, The Bard's Tale. The Bard's Tale makes this list because it was a fantastic RPG. The game was lengthy, the music was great, and the dialogue was hilarious. The game was a blast to play through, and I really wish there was a sequel on the Xbox. The only reason it isn't higher up on this list was because of the combat, which I found a little bland. Number 4, Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is an action-adventure game similar to Legend of Zelda. When I say similar, I mean almost an exact copy. It is very clear that they took a heavy inspiration from the Zelda franchise, which is fine, honestly. It made for a great game. Being able to control 2 different characters with unique abilities was really fun, and it made it so that the game never got stale. The dungeons were well organized and varied greatly. Graphically, I think this game looks amazing and holds up very well even till today, and the animations are superb as well. Definitely worth picking up. Number 3, Indigo Prophecy. Indigo Prophecy, a game that I kept going back and forth if it deserved the number 3 spot or not, but in the end I just had to give it to this game. The reason being is just because of the story alone. There was so much to look at and to play with that I never got bored. Also, controlling 3 different characters all trying to do the same thing was a unique experience. My biggest gripe with the game was the massive amount of QuickTime events. When I say massive, I mean the entire gameplay is a QuickTime event, so if you don't like that, you might want to stay clear a little bit. Number 2. Now, I'm wondering how many people know what number 2 is going to be. Can you have a guess real quick? Republic Commando. Star Wars Republic Commando was a game recommended to me by a personal friend, so when I saw it at my local store, I just had to get it. The game has you playing as a leader of a commando squad fighting against the Empire. You're able to give a wide variety of commands to your squad mates, and you can even rely on them to take care of themselves. The vast amount of weaponry and large selection of levels just carried this game to the number 2 spot. Well deserved. Number 1, Gun. Now I know what you're all thinking. I didn't even feature Gun on this channel yet, so how can it even be the number 1 spot? Well, the reason for that is because I started collecting about this time last year, but obviously I didn't get my recording hardware until a few months later, and in that time I had already picked up and played all the way through Gun. It gets this top spot just because of its impressive graphics, great story, and great controls. Looking back on the game, I really don't have any complaints about it, and I can't wait till I have a little bit more time on my hands and I can play through it again. The game is set back in the old cowboy days with a medium-sized open world to explore. There's plenty to do besides the main story, such as you can take wanted missions, go hunting, and even help out a farmer time to time with his animal problems. If I could recommend one game that you pick up this year, it would be this one. And for an honorable mention, I wanted to throw this in here because it was such a good game, it just didn't quite meet my requirements for the top 5 though. And that game is Siberia. I really wanted to include Siberia in this list, but sadly I just didn't have enough fun with the game. Don't get me wrong though, the game is pretty good, and I know some people will get more enjoyment out of it than I did. But for me, I felt like there was a story that just lasted way too long only to lead to a sequel. The characters in this game are great, and I love talking to everyone, exploring, and solving puzzles. I have a feeling that the sequel will be quite a bit better. So there you have it, my top 5 games that I played in 2016 on the original Xbox. I've had a lot of fun collecting for the system, and I'm up to about 200 games right now. I wanted to also thank everybody who has subscribed, and I only recently made it to 100 subs, but it still feels great. I'm very happy you guys are enjoying the channel so far, and in the next year I plan on continuing with the channel, making better videos more often with no intention of ever stopping. Thank you all very much, and I will see you next year.